On October 3, 2013, Ecuador's National Assembly authorized the project to drill for oil in the Yasuní National Forest, which is a biosphere reserve and home of endemic tribes and unique animal species. It is estimated by the Ecuadorian government that in their area there are around 920 million barrels of crude oil, for which Ecuador could get up to $7 billion, maybe more, some say much more, over the next 30 years. This accounts for 20% of the country's oil reserves. The Ecuadorian National Assembly passed the legislation with 108 votes in favor against 25, authorizing the operation of the oil fields.
Del bloque 31 y 43 queda excluida la intervención en la zona intangible.
Intangible zone is the area where indigenous tribes that haven't been contacted by the Western civilization live. To take care of those nomad tribes, the congressman declared that cautionary measures will be used to avoid harming the people that lives deep in the Amazon rainforest. This is Carlos Viter, a government party congressman, making the case for exploitation.
De medidas de precaución que tienen que ver con monitoreos, que tienen que ver con suspensión inmediata, que tienen que ver con la aplicación de protocolos que protejan cualquier situación de violencia, cualquier situación de contacto con los pueblos indígenas.
All of the Alianza País party members vote for the project, while the opposition denounced that Article 57 of Ecuador's constitution was being ignored. This legislation does not allow mining and oil projects to be set up on ancestral lands without explicit consent of the local population. Alicia Cahuilla, Guarani leader, whom had been invited by the government to speak in favor of the drilling, ditched the script, surprised the governmental majority legislators, while the opposition cheered.
Yo reclamo porque es mi casa, sale petróleo. Entonces, yo no estoy de acuerdo debe ser consulta para otra vez Yasuní. Todos los viejos no están de acuerdo. ¿Por qué mueren Taromenani, enfrentamiento Taromenani y Guarani? Por abrir las carreteras. Eso no queremos nosotros. Entonces, déjanos vivir como Guarani queremos.
Alicia said she was given a speech that was written for her, a script she was ordered to read as her own, but she refused, speaking her mind instead. Learning about this, other indigenous legislators got very upset.
Esto es lo que me dieron escribiendo. ¡Qué vergüenza! ¿Quién le trajo?
Other indigenous leaders were even more explicit.
Se inicia el día de hoy con el delito de etnocidio en contra de los compañeros Tagaeri y Taromenane.
The Yasuní was declared biosphere reserve by UNESCO in 1998 because it is home for many tribes. The Guarani, which coexist with the settlers, the Taromenane and the Tagaeri, two other tribes living deeper in the jungle, isolated from our society. Journalist and filmmaker Carlos Andrés Vera shot Taromenane, a documentary about the impact that the contact with oil and logging industry has had in the Guarani, Taromenane and Tagaeri tribes.
There's a genocide going on right now at the Yasuní National Park. And the circumstances that promote that genocide haven't disappeared. As a matter of fact, they have gotten worse.
It is believed that the Guarani have already exterminated the Tagaeri in behalf of loggers, who pay them for their help finding and cutting cedar trees in the jungles.
When we talk about non-contacted tribes in the Yasuní National Park, we're talking about people who doesn't live inside society's rules, who have decided to be a part of society. They are not aware that there is a state that protects their rights. They're not aware that they have constitutional rights. They have human rights. They're not aware that they live in a country. They have no contact with society, and they live as they were living or as they have been living for thousands of years.
Many studies, assessments made by international scientist teams, like this one for PLOS ONE, reveal that Yasuní is in fact the most biodiverse area of our planet. To this day, 121 reptiles species, 150 kinds of amphibians, 598 kinds of birds have been discovered. And while they have verified 169 species of mammals, scientists believe that the total number of mammals tops around 204. As far as plant species, 2,113 have been catalogued, but it is believed that thousands more are still unknown to us. South American rainforest jungle, or Amazon, is considered the planet's lung because its trees process CO2 and turn it into oxygen. This, add to the unique geography, makes the Yasuní a one-in-a-million place that is believed to hold up to 15% of our planet's biodiversity in a very small fraction of its territory. Fernando Ehlers, a primetime TV host and journalist, has visited the park many times and recently working there for some weeks, creating a TV special about Yasuní. After visiting the rainforest on the company of scientists from San Francisco de Quito's University's Scientific Monitoring Station, he has a good understanding of the importance this natural reserve holds.
The ice ages that affected most of the planet millions of years ago, well, Yasuní stayed the same, so it was not affected by these phenomenons. So you could actually find in this place species that were before the ice age in the planet, that inhabited the earth before the ice age. I think Yasuní is maybe the best reflection of what's happening in the world. We know what we have, we know it's very special, but we're not willing to give development up in order to preserve it. So that's very sad.
Well, the planet is arguably warming up because of carbon emissions, and there is a number of energy companies profiting from it. The original Ecuador Yasuní ITT initiative could have provided an example for green development to other nations. In part 2 of this special report, we will go over the story of the Yasuní ITT initiative. For the Real News, this is Oscar Leon.